You know, a classic kind of novelistic telling of the kid that went, whoa, the kid that went, you know, from the small town and went to the big city, and then is drawn back there, and you know, the skeletons in the closet that are there, and the father, you know. I once pitched it to you in the very first meeting as like a Western. Yeah. About a young gunslinger who leaves this town and goes to the big city, and his father was the sheriff of the small town, and then
he comes home to Unforgiven.
Yeah. And he comes back to the small town, and he's going to blow in and out, and doesn't want to deal with all the stuff that he left behind, and then his father, the sheriff, gets in trouble, and he's the only guy with a quick draw and can stick around for it. So it had that shape to it, but also there was just this sense that there was an opportunity to visualize the judge the whole time in the movie is trying to protect this legacy, and that legacy is visualized by what you see as the town. And you know, that's why it was very, very important. Otherwise, it's just a concept. And you see this, you know, when he drives into town, I love the moment that in your performance, and it's only described, but you kind of threw the dialogue in yourself on the day, but just him going, oh, here we go. And you're looking at this beautiful place, and you're like, what's, you know, that contrast makes you lean in and wonder about what is going on with the character. And then by the end of the movie, him saying, I'm from here, is this declaration of his return. And it's just really, I just loved all that stuff. So it was very important.
Yeah, so talk a little bit more, because you're known for comedies, and yet you've got a drama, but you've got a lot of actors that are also known for comedy. So how do you balance the drama of The Judge versus some of the other pieces you've done?
I think I went too dramatic.
No, trust me, it works.
I'm saying that in the sense that the script that I brought him had nothing funny in it, and Robert was very, you know, it's like, people got to laugh through this thing, man. We got to entertain them. So we were able to you helped me resuscitate the life of the movie by always making sure that there was things like C.P. Kennedy in the movie. But you know, I directed comedy the same way. Everything, there's the comedy that I did, that the scenes are not directed dramatically, that the characters are not reacting to what is happening in the situation, completely grounded and realistically. I think I need water.
Sure.
But that's always been, I've had a sense of what was funny about those situations, but I've always been kind of directing drama.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And Robert, I think this is kind of a passion choice for both you and your wife to take this on, am I correct? And what drew you to the script in this film?
Well, I always say, beware the passion project. So I wanted to make a film that was an audience pleasing bit of entertainment. But I also like the idea that, you know, as you're kind of being escorted through this mythology of just kind of stomach punching reality into kind of these family dynamics, that there's this relief along the way, and that, you know, fortunately, we had this, you know, great writer in Bill Dubuque, who's just from down the road in St. Louis, who really gave the place gave the script a sense of place, and he's like, he should have like a girlfriend, and then maybe he's some girl, you know, he's never cheated on his wife. He's too busy working, but maybe like kisses this girl in like a phone booth, and then maybe she's in the back of the car, and I was like, yeah, we need stuff like that. We need that stuff. Because it's just kind of evocative and funny, but it gives Hank more to deal with than just, who wants to watch a movie about someone going, the case? My dad doesn't want me to defend him, but I gotta defend him, you know? I mean, you know, back in when movies like The Verdict were made, that was enough. But I feel like audiences are so savvy nowadays, and you know, and so many movies come out where like, this movie is so important. I go, I saw it, and it was so important, I wish it was 3 hours shorter. That important director made me importantly want to bolt, because I get it, you're important, it's important. I was just not entertained, or I'm like bummed out at the end, or I'm like, oh, I love this nihilistic, misogynistic world we live in. Thank you, you know. And we wanted really strong women in this film, you know.
that people come to the movie theater, which is hard enough to have